grunting, pouring out a bevy of alien noises, because all Rob could do was stare and stare at the impossible, alive child on the chair. Everything about him was terribly, uncannily perfect. Huge dark eyes, russet hair, a dusting of freckles. Rob didn't need to pull back the lips to check for the gap in the teeth because he knew it was there. The kid was Brodie. Statue still and silent. The only difference between him and Rob's photo was the lack of a smile. Finally, Detective Bellamy let go of Rob's hand. He sat down and indicated the chair opposite. For a second, there was a fleeting moment of doubt in his kind, hard eyes, and he glanced from Rob to Brodie and back again. Of course, most parents would have sprinted to their child and wrapped their arms round them, sobbing with joy. Rob thought he should probably do something like that, anything other than staring with his mouth open. He approached the kid cautiously, tentatively, glanced back at Bellamy. Bellamy smiled, looking relieved Rob was finally behaving as expected. Rob was scared to touch the kid. If he did, it meant he was actually doing it, claiming someone else's child as his own, someone's living child. That was worse than claiming a dead one, surely. Rob knelt down in front of the boy and peered into his face. The boy looked back, eyes blank and trusting as a seaside donkey. Slowly, Rob leaned forward and put his arms round the boy. He rested his chin on the boy's shoulder, convinced the kid would let out a banshee pod-person wail, splitting the eardrums of everyone in a 100-mile radius. But the kid stayed quiet. Didn't react at all, in fact. Sat rigid and unyielding as if he was carved out of wood. But he was a real boy. Rob could hear his quiet breaths, feel his back slowly rising and falling. He had a slightly odd smell, almost like the upholstery in a brand new car, a scent evincing durability and precision engineering. Other than that, he was exactly as Rob would have expected Brodie to look in the flesh. Rob pulled away and looked to Detective Bellamy again. Where? He asked. I mean, how? Darndest thing, said Bellamy, waving a teacup at an officer standing just outside the door. P.C. Cornwall found him wandering down the high street at 2 a.m, alone. A little confused and frightened, but otherwise fine. Cornwell brought him here and I recognised him right away, even wearing the clothes he disappeared in. Couldn't believe my eyes. You couldn't? How do you think I feel? That must have been incredible. Jules's eyes were shining. She's already got the wrong impression. Seems to think I'm telling her some heart-warming story of how I was reunited with my son all those months ago. I thought she was smarter than me. I mean, if this was that kind of story, I'd tell it in a restaurant, on a proper date for once, or in the work canteen with a shared slice of cheesecake. I'd tell it freely, anywhere. I wouldn't be telling her in the confines of my mildewed bathroom. I wouldn't have ushered her in here and locked the door to keep my son out. I wouldn't be petrified he had his head against the door right now, listening in. I can't decide if she's purposefully ignored the bits where I said I was confused and afraid to see a real live child, or if she's just latched on to the good parts. Good parts to her mind, anyway. And why would she think anything else? I made her think that. I made her believe getting Brodie back was the most important thing in all the universe to me. She's only reacting based on the information I've given her. Unless... What if she's the same as Bummer? What if she can't grasp what I'm telling her because of whatever's affecting him? I consider stopping right there. I don't know.